Scorpio, welcome to your June 2023 mid-month reading, end of the month reading. This is just going to be for the rest of June. And then we're going to jump straight into the Julys afterwards. I believe I only got fire signs after the water signs, and then we'll do the July readings. So hopefully y'all been well, Scorpio. We're just going to go ahead and jump in like always. If you're newer to the channel, be sure to check your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus sign. The spread that I use, you can definitely find different messages. So let's take a look here, Scorpio. Oh, my Scorpions. What's going on? All right, let's do it. This first row is going to be in regards to your career, your ambition, and your goals here, Scorpio. Very interesting. Some of you guys are starting to, like, the feeling that you have is like you need to start becoming more disciplined or more focused here. Because that King of Swords energy is like, I feel like you're very stern right now about what you're choosing to focus on. Like, I think you're having this internal dialogue and you've come to the conclusion. It's like, okay, I need to do this in order for me to move forward, in order for me to become more successful, whatever the case might be, right? Because you have this Three of Wands here in the future, which is why I'm saying that. Three of Wands is, of course, the card of your ships coming in, but it's also Sun and Aries. It deals a lot with self-determination, right? Independence. It's kind of like the energy of, like, I want to go after my desires. I want to expand my horizons. And that Five of Cups is sort of the motivating factor, I feel, because the Five of Cups is Mars and Scorpio. Some of you may have Mars and Scorpio. And, the Five of Cups can come in many different, or can show up in many different forms in regards to situations. But really, basically, when we narrow it down with the Five of Cups, it's sort of an emotion that we want to, that we want to personally defy. Something that, whether it's disappointment, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, or even feeling like a failure possibly, or whatever the case might be. That Five of Cups is definitely what I feel like what is causing this King of Swords energy, right? Of you sort of understanding, like, I need to stay focused in order for me to move ahead. And I feel like you'll move through this quite fast here. You can see the contrast of energies here. And usually I don't spend this long as I'm kind of going through the spread, but it's definitely a message that wants to be communicated. So let's take a look at your relationships. The High Priestess, Five of Wands here, and you have the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like there's a lot of inner tension. There's a lot of things that you're trying to adjust to that's been quite challenging. This could even be disagreements that you're having with people, or this may even be with inside yourself, because the High Priestess is the moon archetype. And people think it's Pisces. It's the moon. And the moon card is actually Pisces. But the High Priestess and the Five of Wands is like an inner tension that you're having. And maybe I think it's best to communicate how you feel about things or what you're thinking rather than sweep it under the rug, because I feel like it's going to manifest into something bigger than what it should be down the line, right? So the High Priestess is like you're trying to adapt to something, you're sensing things, feeling things, you're maybe aggravated, irritated, but I think things will work themselves out. Five of Wands is just one of those cards where it can be disagreements personally with other people, clash of personalities, clash of egos. Everybody's different, right? And I wouldn't take things personally, Scorpio. I would do your best not to take things personally. Ace of Pentacles in the future in regards to your relationships. So maybe there's some things that you're trying to plan out, some things that you're trying to understand at this time to be able to create something better here, something that actually works. And I feel like you will come to that resolution. You will come to find that, because I feel like that's what you're trying to do ultimately right now with this High Priestess, is that sort of trying to find like the answer here or a way through this Five of Wands. We're going to clarify, of course, and we're going to see what it says, but kind of feel like for some of you, it's like you may be feeling like you're putting a lot of effort into your relationships, and maybe you're not really getting back what you would like in return. I'm hearing I'm always the one that has to do everything. Damn it, that ain't a fucking Scorpio fucking quote. I'm always the one that has to do everything. I could talk shit. I got Scorpio on my placements. I got Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon. Scorpio's like, I'll just do it. Jealousy and envy as well, I feel like, is what you could be experiencing as well. Now, maybe this could be you, Scorpio. That's why I say don't take things personally. I would also stop comparing yourself to other people. If that's what you're doing. If that's not what you're doing, then don't take it personally. All right, let's do this last row. Any additional messages that want to come through? The Hermit. The Knight of Wands here. Some of you, you blaze your own trail here in life. Such Scorpio energy, right? Hermit, Knight of Wands is you kind of do your own thing, right? Scorpios are rebels. And you kind of do your own thing. You follow like your own soul. You trust your own inner guidance here. And I think it's important that you do that. I feel like for some of you, it's like you've been experiencing quite loneliness. Not to say that you don't have relationships around you or anything like that, but more so that Hermit and the Knight of Wands is like when you sort of just feel like your ambition and your goals, are quite different from everybody else's, or maybe you're not getting the support necessarily that you would like, or at least the understanding of the things that you're trying to do. So that's where the loneliness could creep in, and you could feel that. But I feel like you're very wise, you're very smart, and which is why you sort of don't follow the crowd. And I feel like if you stay true to your soul and your ambitions with that Hermit and the Knight of Wands, I mean, a lot of you guys I feel like in the end, it'll all be worth it with that Ten of Pentacles, right? I was just saying this in the Cancer read. So if you have Cancer placements, I'd watch the Cancer reading, not the spread, but what I'm about to say about this Ten of Pentacles is that I don't know I can't remember what I said, but I was like, the Ten of Pentacles shows to me the axis of the IC and the MC, right? Because it is the axis of the IC and the MC, right? Sort of the roots, how you build a certain foundation, the energy that you invest into the foundation of things, into the stability of things, into the longevity of things, to be able to create something MC that is of the highest attainment of not only career and success and legacy, but also the highest spiritual attainment too. So keep doing your thing, Scorpio. Keep doing your thing. There's some other messages coming through. But give me a moment. You have trust in your new path. All will work out for you. Well, there's only one path that I'm seeing this throughout the spread, and that's in the Ace of Pentacles. So maybe there's some challenges in regards to relationships, right? I don't feel like they're major. I just feel like there's just things that you're having to figure out, and it could be challenging. But I feel like it's wanting you to, trust that everything will work out for your highest good here, right? And that everything is working out for your highest good. Second house resources, right? Second house does deal with our values, our resources, deals with the things that support us, right? And second house as well, people may not know or forget about, is that the second house as well can deal with how others support you too. So the value and contribution that others have, right, in your life. So there could be some difficulties, some struggles around finances. I'm seeing that, or just resources in general, something around that, something around there in particular. But I think all will be well. I think it's just something that just needs to be figured out. That's really all I can say about that. You have this Lion temperament card. So the only temperament card that I'm seeing here is that King of Swords and the Knight of Wands. So ultimately, the King of Swords is focus, discipline, decisiveness, understanding that it's important to focus on what's important and to disregard anything that isn't in alignment with what it is that you're trying to do moving forward. You have this create card. So it's important to focus on the creation of things. And that's what that Ace of Pentacles is like. How can you create something? How can you weave together something that works out for everybody? Not just in your relationship, but that's just ultimately good for everybody. So I feel like it's wanting you to keep creating. There's no need to be destructive with anything. As long as you can focus on progress and subtle increments of progress, or whatever the case might be, it's to keep creating here. Clarify this King of Swords for the Scorpios. King of Cups here. Devoted, strong purpose, strong devotion is your temperament when it comes to your career ambition and your goals. A true love for something is what I'm feeling. That's what I'm sensing. 10 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. I feel like there's been a lot you've been carrying on your shoulders, right? I think there's been a lot you've been carrying on your shoulders. And so it's like you've been tested along the way. But Ace of Wands, 3 of Wands. It's interesting. It's kind of getting like a Saturn energy. It's like a Saturn Mars energy specifically, because the 10 of Wands is a Saturn card and the 5 of Cups is a Mars card. So Saturn Mars is like when there's an obstacle and challenge in the way, right? Saturn puts the obstacle or the challenge or the restriction or the limitation, and Mars is sort of like, Mars is the maverick in the sky, you know, it kind of does what it wants to do. But when there's a restriction or when there's a boundary or a limitation, it challenges Mars to rise to the occasion, or it challenges Mars to break through that limitation. And, Mars ultimately wants to be independent and free. That's what Mars and Aries represent, right? Mars, Aries, Scorpio, all like their independence. It's a Mars archetype. And it's not that you want to be totally independent. It's more so it's just like there's been a lot of obstacles that you've been having to deal with. And it can be fucking frustrating. But I would say keep going, because that 3 of Wands, Ace of Wands, it's like once you kind of get through this, or whatever the case might be, overcome whatever the challenge is, the hurdle is, I feel like it's going to make you realize that you're capable of more and more and more and more. With that 3 of Wands, Ace of Wands. So keep going. 4 of Cups, the High Priestess. 10 of Swords, the 5 of Wands. I mean, we've already talked about this or something like that. There's something that I feel like you're sitting on. Again, the 4 of Cups is a moon archetype. Moon in Cancer, and the High Priestess is the archetype of the moon. So, again, emotionally, you're feeling something, but it's like you're trying to keep the peace, but I feel like it's aggravating you. So I feel like it's kind of just wanting you to like focus on the solution rather than the problem here. Now, I'm not sure what this is talking about. It's very general, and I feel like it's meant to be general. Oh, wow. Did y'all hear that? That was fucking lightning, son. Damn, what was that? I know y'all heard that. Maybe you didn't. That sounded, it's not even raining. I know lightning's and thunders when it's not raining, but that sounded fucking weird. Maybe lightning struck close or something. But Ace of Pentacles and the High Priestess. It was about finding something that can, or focusing on a solution that could helps, you know, it's difficult to explain because it's more so it's like you already understand, but it's more so just like trying to find something that could help you, you know, balance out like what you're feeling emotionally about things. And so the Ace of Pentacles and the High Priestess is about finding solutions, and it may rely upon you to find that solution, you know. So, and that's what the High Priestess Ace of Pentacles is about, finding what can support you right now, finding something that can help support you emotionally. Six of Cups and the Hermit, Five of Cups, Knight of Wands, and you have the Star card, Ten of Pentacles. The highest spiritual attainment. The Star card is the most spiritual card in the deck, and the Ten of Pentacles is one of the most material cards in the deck, right? And so the opposite of, there's two spectrums of the MC. Obviously, it's like the highest attainment of material success, right? Career and all that stuff, but it could also be spiritual too, right? So whatever this is, I feel like your guides or spirit, the additional messages that's coming through is to don't be like, I feel like when you're in your own zone, or you kind of carve out a place for you to be alone, to be like sort of like with your thoughts or whatever the case might be, I feel like that's when you sort of find these deeper layers to yourself, Scorpio, that allow you to be able to transmute things. It's very interesting. I feel like it's like you're having to be more focused on what's the most important for you and yourself in the future of things. And I feel like if you can do that, then I feel like everything is possible. And that's where the biggest reward will be for you. So that's what I got for you, Scorpio. I'm going to leave your reading right here. I appreciate y'all for watching. If you want to book a personal reading with me, the link's down below in the description. Any question that you have, I'll answer it specifically. We use a different spread. Everything is down below. You can just see what that is if you're newer and you want to take a look. It's on my website. You have to go to the website and it tells you. But otherwise than that, if this video resonated with you, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, Scorpio.